Welcome home. I'm Ryan.
I'm Elie.
And today we're going to do something a little different. I don't know if you can really say that when you've only really done 2 episodes. But over here, I have a little box that has a bunch of cards. The cards have, it says word teasers on it. Funny saying stuff. It's like questions or just statements or stuff for us to think about or talk about. Mm-hmm. We're recording this back to back from the last episode. Mm-hmm. So we are, 1, wearing the same thing, 2, having the same drinks. I have a horchata. She has a
Ollie Pop.
Pop thing that we got from Costco.
Have you looked at these?
I've looked at a few a while ago. We got these at TJ Maxx or Ross or something like that. One of those.
Oh, maybe Ross.
And I planned on using it for like a YouTube video of mine, but then we just never did, and I think we got it like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I mean, it's been a long time, but I'm just gonna pick one out randomly, and yeah, it's a question. Is there anything? We should just restart, because is there anyone you would like to stop arguing with and bury the hatchet?
No. Just fine.
And for those of you who don't know what bury the hatchet means, it is stop fighting or arguing, make amends. The origin is many American Indian tribes would actually bury their weapons as a symbolic gesture that a war or conflict with another tribe was over.
We're learning in this
is what
episode.
It says. So, I haven't argued with this person in a long time, but yes, there is someone I would like to bury the hatchet with. My ex-best friend.
Oh, different.
I don't know who'd you think it was going to be for me?
Like family issues.
I mean, not really.
I mean, we haven't argued with them either. I think it's hard to bury the hatchet when the ball is not in your court.
I guess I know what you're trying to get at now. With our family drama, yeah. I guess, but it's one of those things that you just said. We are not the ones
to bury the hatchet.
Yeah, you can pick one out.
Okay. Did you move it out already?
Yeah, it's over here.
How often do you get down to the wire before you study for a test?
Oh.
If you don't know what down to the wire means, it means at the last minute. Do you want to know the origin?
What?
In the early days of horse racing, a thin wire was stretched across the finish line of the racetrack. When 2 horses were running neck and neck, the winner was determined by who crossed the wire first. So
I feel like the origin
doesn't
doesn't really make sense. Down to the wire to get something done.
Like, I think it means like.
Well, I know what it means, but I don't understand why
the
origin thing. But how often do I?
I guess we could change it. How often do you get down to the wire?
For like an actual back in school.
You need to upload a video.
Test and stuff. In the last episode, I kind of mentioned it, but I never really truly tried. I never really studied. I mean, there was occasional study this, study that, do your homework, but really it wasn't anything. So I never did those things. I never procrastinated enough to get to that point. But for YouTube videos, all the time, almost every single one, just because I just hate
editing.
I hate editing. I do. It's awful. But what would you say?
I mean, I haven't been in school in a while. I'm just kidding. I was the same way. My homework was turned in at 11:59 when it was due. For the most part.
Yeah, I remember those days. Not too long ago, I would say. But this next one says, don't beat around the bush with this answer. Who's your favorite female singer? Beat around the bush.
No.
Avoid answering directly. Stall. Answer in a roundabout way. The origin is years ago, hunters hired special people to beat around the bushes with sticks in order to drive birds or rabbits or other animals out into the open so the hunters can get a better shot at them.
Okay.
Feel like it's the same with the last one. It doesn't really make that much sense.
I think we need more explanation, but
yikes.
Don't put it back.
Oh, that's right. I have
favorite female singer, is that what they said?
Yeah.
I have a lot.
Yeah, it's not
but
like
we're beating around the bush right now.
I don't have like a specific person in mind, but like Olivia Rodrigo, Abby Cates.
Currently, I've been listening to a lot of Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, you are, and
Tori Kelly.
Lady Gaga is one of them. I mean, like there's a lot, but I don't have a specific favorite. But that's just
there's a lot.
That's
we gave
just me.
A few. Okay. Whose room is most likely to be clean as a whistle right this minute? Yours or your best friend's?
Oh, I thought it was going to be like...
Rosalina?
Yeah.
Clean as a whistle. Perfectly clean or spotless. The origin. Years ago, the word tomb meant empty. The saying at the time was a tomb's a whistle and meant as empty as a whistle. An empty whistle is pretty clean, and so over the years, the idiom became as clean as a whistle.
And what's funny is like whistles are probably one of the most disgusting things ever.
Like bacteria-wise.
Yeah. I know it's slick as a whistle. I know that's another one. Because they're wet, you know. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. But you go. You answer.
How should we answer this, though?
You can answer it both ways. You can answer it between us and
let's do, if we were not living together right now, whose room would be as clean as a whistle?
Yeah, definitely mine.
He cleaned my room a lot of the times. Well, I guess I could.
I did, huh?
Yeah.
I remember those days.
My room was always a mess.
Yeah, mine was most of the time put together. But there are definitely times where, especially in this room now, and the shop, just a complete mess. But I do like cleaning and organizing them. That's one of the things I did before I left my most current job at the college. I was cleaning and organizing things because I'm just a good organizer. And I don't necessarily have a best friend. So
I'm his best friend.
That is true. When it comes to studying after school, is your motto strike while the iron is hot or wait till I'm in hot water? Take advantage of an opportunity is what strike while the iron is hot means. The origin is years ago, blacksmiths would heat iron until it's red hot. They would then shape the iron into objects such as horseshoes while the iron was hot. Because it's easier to shape things like metal when it's hot. I made that last little part up. And you're welcome. It's the truth. My motto is strike while the iron is hot. I come home from school after, the last class. And usually I would almost always do that class's homework first. Because it's fresh in my mind. Obviously, I would have a little break, but it's like 5, 10, 15 minutes. But I know your answer to this question.
It's the opposite. I wish it was strike while the iron is hot, but I'm just like, no, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. What?
Nothing.
Who in your family is most likely to tickle your funny bone? Tickle your funny bone meaning make one laugh. Origin. In Latin, the name for a bone in your upper arm at the back of your elbow is humerus. Sounds like humorous. For years, people have called it the funny bone. Have you ever bumped this part of your arm and it made your arm feel tingly or weird?
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, same. But who in your family is most likely to tickle your funny bone, make you laugh?
You or my dad?
Yeah.
So you would say the same thing. Me or your dad?
Yeah. That my dad or my brother. Ryan makes me laugh too, but like I know you're my family, but I guess I was thinking of like my immediate family. So my dad or my brother. My everyone in my family is pretty funny though. Like
Yeah.
and I'm not very hard. It's not very hard to make me laugh either.
Maybe we can do one more of, this is mine, this is yours, and then we can go to the other box.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how spick and span is your room right now? Spick and span means perfectly clean. In the Old Norse language, the word spick meant trim or neat, and the word spanny meant absolutely new. By the 1500s, the two words had been put together and shortened to mean something that is perfectly clean. Huh. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how spick and span is your room right now? 6.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I would give it like a 7.
Okay. I mean, there's definitely dust.
Yeah.
It needs to be dusted. And then we have the litter box in there. And then
the
bed's
bed
not
isn't
made.
perfectly made.
But it's not
But
like...
it's not dirty. It's not cluttery.
Yeah. It's not super spick or span, but...
This is my last one.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you usually do when you're down in the dumps? Meaning,
Oh my God.
feeling blue, unhappy. Origin. The word dumps comes from a German word, düster, which means gloomy. So what do you usually do when you're down in the dumps?
I just sit and think. Or just watch YouTube videos under, the covers. Just lay down, chill out. Try to get into a better mood, better positive mood.
Yeah. Cry.
Yeah, cry that yeah.
Cry, make myself the victim.
I'm gonna grab the other box. So this box that I just grabbed is
The love
pretty
box.
much the same thing, but it's speaking of love.
I'm scared for some of these questions.
And it says conversation starters for lovers of all ages. So for those of you who are listening that are on the younger side and or want to listen with your family, it should still be...
According to this box, this is supposed to be
A-okay.
family friendly. Of all lovers. But then it also has a age thing on there that says 17 plus.
Oh, it does. Well, we'll see.
Never mind. If you're not 17, click off right now.
So this one,
If it's too much, don't expect me to answer.
I will expect you to answer.
No.
What do you value more as an expression of my love? Receiving a gift or getting my full attention?
Is that even a question? Getting your full attention.
Okay. I think that's probably the same for me too. I had to reread the thing. Yeah, getting your full attention.
Which is hard because my attention span is messed up.
In the back, it says, of course, it might depend upon the gift or the nature and timing of the attention. Either way, it's nice to be thought of. That is true. If you receive a gift, you're being thought of.
Okay. Have you ever written love letters in the sand? Love Letters in the Sand is a song about the often transitory state of love. Sometimes a lover's affections are washed away as quickly as a wave scouring the sand. What? What? Are we too dumb for these?
Possibly.
Maybe we need to listen to the song. Love letters in the sand.
I guess what it's saying is just the love I have for you may go away as quickly as a wave does.
Like, have you ever loved anybody like that? Or like me? Or like, I'm confused.
Have you ever written love letters in the sand? I'm going to be honest here and say yeah. Because I think the way I'm getting it is, have I ever like fallen in love with someone and then it go away pretty quickly? Yeah, I would say so.
Our brains are not built the same way.
What do you think are the biggest challenges in marriage?
What if someone's not married?
What do you think are the biggest challenges in a marriage is the question. Because we are married, we can answer this question.
It's not hard at all. I'm having the time of my life.
It is probably, I mean, if you really think about it, it's just the same thing as a regular dating relationship, but you guys are living together for the most part is kind of what marriage is.
I guess there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah, and you know, I think
what's the hardest part about marriage have you encountered personally?
Communication, but I guess that could just be for any relationship.
Yeah, I would say the same. Maybe expectations too. The expectations that you have for the other person can be let down.
The back says making time for your relationship when you have small children and money issues is often the biggest challenge couples encounter. Yeah.
That's true.
Makes sense.
I don't want to read this one.
Read it.
Who was the first person who stole your heart?
I was all cheap, dude.
The first person that stole my heart was Ryan.
No, I know who it was. Just say it.
It was you.
What's his name?
You stole my heart. We're not saying names on this podcast. When you have your heart stolen, you're captivated and find yourself suddenly and deeply in love before you even noticed it. Captivated. Ryan captivated me.
Well, the first person who stole my heart
was not me.
No, and it wasn't who you think it was either. It was Sabrina.
We're not saying names.
We can say names. She's never gonna listen, and no one really knows who she is.
How rude! You notice how I was like, no, it's just Ryan.
Girl, I'm just being honest here. This is honesty. This podcast is all about being honest and truthful.
I am being honest and
being
truthful.
Open with the people that we are having conversation with.
Okay, go ahead.
What was the worst blind date you ever experienced?
I've never been on a blind date.
I've been on one.
You've been on a blind date before?
Yes.
You're lying.
Nope. I can tell you about it. Quick story.
You're lying. Who set you up? Who set this up?
I did.
You set up the blind date.
Mm-hmm. Okay, get this. There was an app. It was, what was that app that you post pictures? Just like
This is the app that you found your girlfriend on.
No. It wasn't Hot or Not or anything like that. It was. We didn't date. Man, it was called like Whisper or something like that. It was an old app. Long time ago.
Anyways, on apps you shouldn't have been on.
It was basically an app that you would post things just about random things, about anything. and people can talk to you and message you and stuff. But anyways, this girl messaged me, and we started talking, and the only picture that I saw of her was just her hair. And I was like, oh yeah, she's pretty from what I can see, which is nothing really. We meet up at the McDonald's in Zilla.
What?
Yeah. I sit there. I texted Eli.
Wait, how old were you?
16 or 17? 15. No, I was driving, so I had to have been 16 or 17. 16.
So it was like a year before you met me.
Yeah, and I was sitting there for a long time waiting and waiting and waiting. And I texted Eli, friend from I think last episode I mentioned him. I was like, dude, I'm going on this date and she hasn't showed up yet. I think I'm gonna leave soon. And right around the time that I was about to leave, this girl walks in with like a couple other people, with her mom and I think her brother. And she is not at all what I thought she looked like. Like, I just imagined her looking totally different.
Smoking hot. And she comes in regular plain Jane.
Yeah. And
was she like
she was not my type at all.
Okay.
She's not at all.
What is your type?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Let's just say she was
baby.
Latina.
No, she wasn't. I don't think.
Okay.
But she was not at all who I thought. And we had pretty good conversation, but at the end of it, finally we were like, okay, let's go home, or I'm going to go home now, or whatever. I lost contact with her because the messages that we had were on the app. And I think something happened to where, like, I deleted the messages on accident, or the post I did, and I didn't have her number, and she didn't have mine.
You don't remember her name?
Nina.
Her name was Nina?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember, like, where she's from?
Toppenish. I'm pretty sure she lives somewhere in Toppenish.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure she had a YouTube channel, because I feel like...
A match made in heaven.
This is weird, but I feel like she told me her YouTube channel, but it doesn't make sense on how I didn't know what she looked like. So I think it was a different girl that I was talking to that had a YouTube channel.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that was the one and only blind date I've ever been on. And
that's crazy. I can't believe I've never heard that story.
You've heard the part.
I have not
You've heard the
that.
part that I lost contact with someone, and I didn't mean to. Like, I ghosted them on accident. Is the complete, honest truth is that I ghosted them on accident, and
Well,
I
Nina,
regret it.
If you're out there,
Sorry,
maybe you
girl.
still have a chance.
No. And those of you who don't know what a blind date is, it refers to going out with someone for the first time, having never seen them before, for the purpose of establishing a romantic connection.
I've never been on a blind date, and it looks like I probably never will be on one.
We can make it into a YouTube series. You going on a blind date for the first time?
I don't want to go on a blind date with anybody.
For your next best friend.
I don't want another best friend.
Okay.
Okay, my next card. Have you ever felt lovesick? Love sickness is an affliction that produces negative feelings during the absence of a loved one, wherein one's love is unrequited. Depending on the intensity of the feelings, it can have a dramatically adverse effect on the mind and body. So, have you ever felt lovesick? I think it means like
withdrawals from seeing them or being with them.
Well, maybe, but it might just mean like,
or you have so much love for them that you feel sick.
That, and it's not being reciprocated, I think, is what the...
Well, I would say, I have two different things I could say, but I'm going to pick the one that I think is better. And that is the summer after we met and became best friends, where you we broke up multiple times, and then finally you broke up with me, I guess, and you didn't want to be my friend once we got into school. But what do you know? We became best friends again. We started dating, and now look, we're married and have a house. What is your lovesick story?
I don't think that I've ever been lovesick before.
Wow. And
Like,
she got mad at me earlier.
People, but it's usually reciprocated, and when it's not, like, I can't really think of a situation where it was not reciprocated and I was still like head over heels, I guess.
Must be nice.
It might have to do with my attention span. Like, if you're not holding my attention, I'm gonna move on. My brain's gonna move on. Okay.
What is the sweetest thing you've ever done on Valentine's Day?
I don't know if I've ever done anything sweet on Valentine's Day. Have I ever done anything sweet for you for Valentine's Day?
No.
No.
And why do you expect me to do something sweet for you on Valentine's Day?
So, I've never done anything sweet for anybody on Valentine's Day. I think if we didn't have a joint bank account, it would be better.
Oh, my. So, the other thing, I want to mention a couple different things. So, I went out with a girl named Sophie. You know who that is? Went to school with her.
I guess.
Her mom works at the dental clinic.
That
dental
doesn't
office.
help, but
Okay. So, we dated for like 2 weeks or something.
So you didn't date.
Through Valentine's Day. And all her friends were talking to me. They're like, are you going to get her for something? Get her
Anything?
something for Valentine's Day? And I was like, I wasn't planning on it, but I guess I can get her something. So I made this Minecraft card up that said, I dig you. And it was a Minecraft shovel.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and that was in middle school.
Ryan had a lot of girlfriends.
Yep, but the only one that matters most is you, baby.
You're just saying that.
No, and did you know every Valentine's Day, more than 35 million heart-shaped boxes of chocolate are sold? That's why I don't ever want to buy a heart-shaped
I might have known
box.
that. Fun fact, actually, because my church used to do this Valentine's Day dinner for all the couples in the church. And me and my bestie, were in charge of making the games. And we used to do Valentine's Jeopardy, Valentine's Day Cahoots, things like that. And so we would always have to look up Valentine's Day fun facts. So I might have known that. Obviously slipped my mind.
Yeah.
But Ryan made me a homemade card last.
Well, I was going to mention that too because I said I was going to mention multiple. But I did make you a homemade card last year. Was it?
Yeah, it was last year. We'll see what we do for Valentine's Day this year. We like to do things together.
Or so
we're
we
not
think.
Trying to win each other's love.
Yeah, we're not looking at any other people, so we're not competing.
Would you want to write your own wedding vows?
We did.
We did write our own wedding vows.
I mean, obviously with some inspiration of other written wedding vows.
A misconception is that wedding vows had their origin in the Bible. In fact, they were first mentioned by the church in medieval England.
Silence.
Crickets.
Yeah,
Crickets in the room.
Yeah, like we just said, we wrote ours.
We did write ours.
And I would do it again. If I was prepared for that question, I would grab it from the filing cabinet.
You had to be there.
It is on my YouTube channel, but
Are the vows actually in the YouTube video though?
I don't know what's in the YouTube video
I don't
because
think they
the
are.
live stream quit after like 20 minutes and it kept just repeating itself.
Yeah.
But anyways, this next one is, have you ever been in a love triangle? When you are in a love triangle, you are in a difficult position of finding yourself in love, or in the difficult position of finding yourself in love with two people at the same time.
I was in a love triangle, but I wasn't the one who was in love with two people. Two people were in love with me.
Okay, tell me the story. Tell us the story. I'm not grasping at the straw. I don't know.
There were two people
it right.
in love with me. Maybe not in love with me. They were infatuated with me. And they were friends, but they were also friends with me. And they both liked me at the same time. And they would always like fight over me in a way, like to where they would like try to like sabotage, like I don't know how to say it, but like one person would always come to me and like try to say bad things about the other person, and they would both do that. And I'm like,
I have no idea who you're talking about, because all of them can make sense but not make sense at the same time.
Well, I did not like either of them back, like wasn't in love with either of them, but I guess I was the point of a love triangle.
Interesting. You've definitely heard the story before because I told you not too long ago, so don't be shocked when I say it.
Okay.
Back in, you guessed it, middle school, I was at a high school dance, a dance.
Oh yeah.
And there was two girls who were so-called in love with me, and they wanted to dance with me.
But were you in love with them?
Not really.
We're both in the same position.
I just liked the attention from them.
Oh, I liked the attention too.
I liked it when the girls were all over me.
I didn't have boys all over me, but I had them fighting over me. But anyways, continue.
And they wanted to dance with me, and then I think eventually neither of them danced with me because they got in a fight with each other. And I couldn't pick one.
Come on, Ryan.
I know. But you know who I'm talking about. You remember when I told you about it.
I don't really remember who the girls were, but I do remember when you told me about it. But it's okay.
And say it.
When is it reasonable to be in a friends with benefits relationship? A friends with benefits relationship describes two people who have an intimate physical relationship without being committed to each other in any way. Depending upon where people are in their life's journey, it may work better than a more traditional relationship. I don't think it would ever be reasonable for me personally.
I was going to say, I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were saying for anyone.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Well, same. I'm just like, for me, it's just, my brain doesn't work that way.
I think it's reasonable whenever the said party agrees upon it, whether that be you and someone else, or you and your partner and someone else, or, just when everybody consents and agrees upon things.
Yeah, but like,
and understands what the relationship is. Because maybe you're with someone and you're friends with benefits with them, but they don't really think that. That would be unreasonable. But I think depending, like what it said, depending on your situation in your life, it may work out better for you.
yeah.
But
I don't think it would work out for me, though.
It's nothing that I've ever done.
Yeah, I've never done it either. I'm not speaking from experience or anything.
Who was your first heartthrob? A heartthrob is someone who arouses romantic feelings or with whom one is infatuated. It usually refers to an attractive, famous young man.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Theo James.
Well, we don't have to go the actual route, but I was gonna say my first heartthrob was.
We're not saying names, my friend.
We are saying names.
We are not saying
We're not
names.
saying. I'm kind of done with that. I'm done being private.
It's not being private. It's respecting other people's privacy.
Okay, well.
This girl that he was obsessed with in school.
If I can remember when I'm editing this, if I can see this portion, that's where I can bleep it out or something.
Yeah.
But it was her that I had a heartthrob for. Since freaking kindergarten.
If we're going in the traditional route that the card was speaking of, Theo James. If you don't know, now you do. You're welcome.
You know what?
His was Selena Gomez. Is that what you're going to say?
No, it wasn't what I was going to say, but you are right. I was like.
And notice how, go back, click on the left side of your screen, go back to where he was talking about his type being blonde hair, blue eyes. It was a Latina all along. Selena Gomez, my friend. He just didn't want to admit to himself.
That's funny.
Have you ever been in a platonic relationship? Named after the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, it represents a close spiritual affection between two people centered around the mind in the absence of any physical desire. So doesn't platonic just mean like friends, like not romantically?
Ex-best friend is probably what I would say.
I would say, yeah. I've had platonic relationships. Just like really close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe last round.
Okay, last round.
We're gonna
So you get
run
one,
out
I
of
get
time.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
This is mine. Do you believe that the course of true love never did run smooth? This phrase from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream refers to the challenges that often arise when one is in love. Never did.
So have you ever faced challenges while you've been in love? I think. Of course.
I would say it could run smooth, but I would say maybe not for the majority of people.
I also think if it runs too smooth and you don't run into any challenges, you're not like digging deep enough.
Probably.
Like, I don't think anyone is really perfect for another person. Like, you have to put in the work.
I feel like your opinion on that has changed.
Okay.
Which is progress.
I mean, I think you're perfect for me, but...
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm being indecisive. Aw. This is a good one to end on. What do you think are the best things about being in a marriage? Having someone as both a friend and a lover who accepts you for yourself and shares everything with you is felt to be one of the greatest joys in a marriage. What the card said.
Yeah, so...
Best things about being in a marriage.
To have a person there who is your so-called best friend, who will hopefully do this like things with you throughout your guys' whole entire life and relationship, and who's willing to try new things and who is willing to be your number one, I think is the best thing about a marriage. Plus, the other person may hopefully take care of the animals when you're too busy.
Okay. I also would say having someone to do things with, like a built-in person that you can share things with, like little things like food, like a space, but also like life accomplishments and goals and things like that. Because like when your spouse accomplishes things, it kind of feels like you do too, because you're like in it together.
Yeah.
And like just, I don't know, having a built-in person to do everything with, but also someone who you can force to listen to you all day, every day.
Yes. So that is going to be it for today's podcast episode. For those of you who don't already know, these podcasts are on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts currently. Maybe later on in the future, if you're listening to this way into the future, it may be on other platforms as well. But those are where you can find the podcast. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you may already know those routes, those ways to listen to this podcast. Anyways, I think this was a good idea. I think we can do it again.
We could.
There's a lot of cards in both boxes. I am kind of also happy that we didn't do it as one of my channel videos, but
yeah, I think it fits better as a podcast.
Yeah.
Thing.
I thought my nose almost started bleeding. Sorry. Yeah. So that I hate editing these. I'm gonna say that every time. We will thank you so much for listening and enjoying this time with us and having this conversation with us. And hopefully you answered the questions with us. And we will see you guys
next time.
Thank you so much. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.